going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Anfernee, and in this video I want to talk about the difference between credit reports and credit scores and understanding why that is important for you to improve as soon as possible, especially as a teenager and especially as a young adult. Now, I did post a video in the last few months breaking down all the reasons why Credit Karma isn't an accurate credit reporting website. However, as I went back and looked at that video, I don't think I did a great job of really explaining the difference between credit reports and credit scores. So that is exactly what I want to do in this video. So if you think you're going to find any kind of value in this video, make sure to hit that like button for your boy. And also, if you want to make a little bit of free money, go into the link in the description below. Sign up to public, where if you sign up, you'll get a free stock just for signing up and creating an account. And at that point, it is just free money. And before we start to dive into this video, let's talk about the difference between the credit report and the credit score. Because I, like many people, thought they were one and the same. I thought that your credit report was your credit score and vice versa. However, after doing a little bit of research and knocking myself on the head a few times, I realized that there is quite a distinct difference between your credit report and your credit score. You see, your credit score is simple. It is that 3-digit number that you see every time you check Credit Karma, as I said, and that number is made using the information in your credit report. You see, your actual credit report is a long laundry list of your entire history of credit. Everything from the amount of loans you have to their current balances, whether or not you miss any payments, all of the things that tell lenders whether or not you are a credit worthy applicant. And I think it is important to know the difference because, as I talk about later in this video, when you check your credit report for inaccurate details, that is going to be a lot different than just checking your credit score on whether or not it is too low or too high. So now that you know the difference between your credit report and your credit score, what you want to do is actually obtain your credit report and check it to see if there's any errors on there, because if there are, that could be really dragging down your credit score of no fault to yours. So everyone knows how to obtain your credit score. You can go to any credit score reporting site like Credit Karma and you'll get that 3-digit number that everyone sees, whether it's in the 600, 700, 800, you will get that 3-digit number. However, when you want to actually see your credit report, meaning that you want to actually see what lenders are seeing when they pull your credit, you want to go to a credit reporting website, and you are entitled to one free credit report each year if you use the website www.annualcreditreport.com. And as I just said, once you get this credit report, you can scan it for all of that information just to see if anything is out of order. We all would like to assume that credit reporting agencies are 100% accurate, simply because they're dealing with a person's livelihood in essence, because of the impact that a bad credit report can have on a person. However, this is just simply not the case. Credit reports are commonly not accurate if you have a very common name like John Doe, for example. If someone applies for a credit in California, it may be mistakenly added to your credit report. That's why you want to scan these things at least once a year. And let's say that you do find some inaccurate information on your credit report. What do you do in that scenario? Do you go out and hire some credit improvement agency to fix your credit for you? Absolutely not. In many cases, you can get inaccurate information pulled from your credit report for absolutely free just by making a few phone calls, or just by writing letters to the lenders that put that information on there, or to the credit bureaus explaining why that information shouldn't be on there. A lot of the times, these credit repair companies charge outrageous amounts of money for very little impact to your credit, and they can't do anything for you that you can't already do for yourself. So if you do find a loan on your credit report that you don't recognize, write a letter to that lender that put the loan on there and ask them to remove it and see if it can get pulled from your credit report. However, what if the case comes where you do see a loan that you recognize and that you apply for, but because of some issues with the lender, you didn't want to then pursue financing or whatever credit option it was with that particular company, but you still want it on your credit report, but the lender is being a little bit stubborn and telling you that they won't pull it for you? Well, if this is the case for you, then you are legally allowed to have a 100-character note at the very end of your credit report explaining any discrepancies, or explaining pretty much anything that you want on your credit report. So for example, you can say that this was a lender that you didn't pursue for any reason. However, what you want to do is be professional and be brief, and not try to slander any lender, because that comes back looking even more unprofessional and even more unlikely that you'll get a loan on your part. There are tons of examples of credit report notes that you can find online. I may link a few in the description, but at the end of the day, if you do find some stuff that you don't like on your credit report after you check it, there are ways to mitigate the damages so they don't have to follow you in your future in credit repair journey. Okay, so we talked about getting your credit report for free, and I have talked about in recent videos videos on how to get an accurate credit score for free, but this process is not as simple as I had thought of before. Okay, as I said, you are legally allowed to get one free credit report from all the reporting bureaus, but the thing is that they do not give you a credit score. They simply give you everything that goes into your credit score. And the reason why they don't give you a credit score is that many lenders and many creditors have their own special equation on how they actually are going to measure your credit score. You see, whether you go to a mortgage lender or whether you want to get an auto loan, every single company has slightly different parameters on exactly how they're going to calculate your score for you. So while your score may be 675 at Chase, if you go to a personal lender, your score could be 710. And unfortunately, the only way that you would get an absolute accurate measure of your credit score from a potential lender is for them to actually pull your credit and give you a negative or a positive result, meaning that you will have to get a hard inquiry, not a pre-approval, and actually get an approval or a disapproval letter on your credit. This is the only way I have found to accurately get your exact credit score from a potential lender. Yes, you can use sites like Credit Karma in order to get an approximate number of your FICO score, but this number may differ by a couple points on what a potential lender may see once they pull your credit. The good news is that it shouldn't differ by a lot of points, maybe 10 or less points in most cases. However, Credit Karma is not your exact number, and the only time that this will be especially important is if you are bordering the line from either a good to a great credit score or a bad to a good credit score. For example, you may qualify for the best interest rate with a 750 plus credit score, and if Credit Karma says you have a 751 credit score, some lenders who pull your credit may see anywhere from 741 to 759, and depending on what they see, they may not offer you the best interest rates available. So it's always important to take what you see on Credit Karma with a grain of salt and know that it may not be the exact number that you're looking for, and in most cases when you actually do get your credit pulled, it is actually going to be a couple points lower than what it shows there on Credit Karma. But now that you actually know what your credit score is, and hopefully you have your free copy of your credit report, you need to either maintain a high credit score or follow these next steps in order to improve your credit score pretty much as quickly as possible. And these are things that I've actually done in my life to help get my credit score above 750 as of recording this video and to qualify for some of the lowest interest rates that are available on the market today. And the first one is not going to be anything new, but I just want to make an emphasis of it. But you really need to scan your credit report very carefully with a fine-tooth comb for any inaccurate details that may be pulling your credit report down. If you see an application for a credit card that you do not recognize, you need to contact that company to either confirm that you are the one who applied for that credit or to get that hard inquiry removed so that your credit score can increase as quickly as possible. Things like identity theft happen all the time, and unfortunately it doesn't seem like it's slowing down anytime soon. So the best way to protect yourself from this is either to get identity protection or to make sure you're scanning your credit report after the fact to make sure everything is accurate and you recognize all of the things on there. However, moving on to the next way that you can increase your credit score very quickly and very easily, and this one is going to be simply by paying your bills on time. Now I know that this one may sound obvious, but missing just one bill or being 30 days late on just one bill can have a significant impact on your credit score. So making sure that you have a clear view of your finances and making sure that you have enough money set aside to pay your bills on time every single month will do wonders in terms of increasing your credit score. You can go from a 500 credit score to a 600 plus credit score simply by getting up to date on your bill payments. And unfortunately, the best way to do this is simply by not trying to get behind in the first place, because if you have to pay one bill late, then the next month you're probably gonna have to pay that same bill late again, and it ends up being a roller coaster of late payments that start to drag your score down very, very quickly. And if you are someone who already pays their bills on time, then the next way that you can improve your credit score is by being loyal to the lenders that you already have and not trying to shop around accounts quite so much. Now, I have been a victim of this in the past as well, as I do have about 8 or 9 credit cards, but this particular area matters because the length of your credit history factors quite heavily into your credit score. And every time that you open a new account or every time you close an account for a creditor that you don't like, your credit age will be decreasing, and it will show lenders that you may not be as responsible or you may not be as loyal of a customer as they would like, and they could end up denying you based on your credit age in general. Typically, what you would want to do is get a few lenders, whether that's auto loans or credit cards that you really like, and then hold on and continue to use those credit cards for 5+ years. A good credit age would be anywhere from 5 to 10 years, but my credit age as at this point I believe is below 3 years, and I still have a 750 plus credit score. But I would say that that is one area that I can improve on, and that is just by not opening up new accounts. And as I say that, I just applied for a business credit card the other day, so I had to do some serious work in this area myself, but we all have to work on some things. And the last way that I want to talk about that you can increase your credit score very quickly is by limiting the amount of overall usage that you have on your credit cards. Credit usage may be one of the biggest factors going into into your credit score, and probably one of the things that lenders look at first when they're trying to determine whether or not they want to lend to you or not. And what credit usage is the amount of available credit that you have used based on the overall amount of available credit that you have available to you. Meaning that if you have a $10,000 credit limit, it will look a lot better if you only use $1,000 of that credit limit rather than carrying a rolling balance of $9,000. Now this does sound a little bit contradictory, and I didn't quite understand it at first, because why would lenders give you a $10,000 credit limit if they don't expect you to spend the $10,000? And the thing here is that lenders are in the business of making money, so they want to give you a credit limit above what you are available to pay back in the hopes that they can charge interest, and a very high interest, on the amount that you carry over to a month-to-month basis. So they may know that you can only afford a $1,000 credit limit, but they know that if they give you $10,000 that they will be able to charge 25% interest on all of the amount that you don't pay off of that available credit. So do yourself a favor and keep your credit usage low so you don't have to pay as much in interest, and also you will be increasing your credit score at the same time. But with all that being said, I really hope you did enjoy this video. If you found any kind of value in this video, then don't be afraid to tap that like button for your boy, and also hit that dislike button if you dislike every single thing about this video. I love honest feedback like that. If you want to get a little bit of free money, then go down to the link in the description below, and if you sign up to the public app and just create an account, they will give you a free stock valued anywhere from $300 to $300. Also hit that subscribe button if you like more content like this, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.